Go ahead.
I wanted to begin by asking a few questions. How many people lived in Maryland or Virginia in 2002? How many people remember their lives being affected by John Muhammad and Lee Malvo, known as the Snipers? Okay, John Muhammad was sentenced to death and executed in 2009 for killing over 10 innocent people around the Maryland and Virginia area. This is a case that many of us can relate to and understand because we lived through it. The death penalty is a highly controversial topic that has torn many states in different directions. For all of us to form opinions about this topic, it's crucial for us to have background information on its history. According to legal explanations, capital punishment, otherwise known as the death penalty, is defined as the sentencing of death that is awarded to capital offenses like crimes involving planned murder, multiple murders, repeated crimes, rape and murder, and in the criminal provisions considers the person to be a gross danger to society. As of right now, Maryland offers the death penalty as a form of punishment for a crime. Since 1976, Maryland has executed 5 people and currently has 5 people on death row. In total, the United States has executed 1,246 people between 1976 and 2001, and currently has 3,261 people on death row. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, of these 3,000 plus people, 44% are white, 42% are black, and 12% are Hispanic, and 2% fall under other classifications. There were 61 women on death row as of January 1st, 2010. This makes up 1.9% of the total death row population, and 12 women have been executed since 1976. The death penalty is legal in 34 states, and there are 5 forms of the death penalty. The most widely used across these states is lethal injection. Lethal injection has 2 possible processes depending on the state. The 3-drug protocol uses 3 types of drug. The first is an anesthetic, the second a paralytic, and the third one stops the heart. The 1-drug protocol uses 1 lethal dose of anesthetic. There have been 1,072 people sentenced to death with lethal injection since 1976. And most other forms are thought to be cruel and unusual punishment, but can be used in certain circumstances or upon request. Of the people executed by other forms, 157 were electrocuted, 11 died in gas chambers, 3 were hung, and 3 died under firing squad. For execution by the electric chair, the person is usually shaved and strapped to a chair with belts. A metal skullcap-shaped electrode is attached to the scalp and forehead over a sponge moistened with saline. The prisoner is then blindfolded. After the execution team has withdrawn from the observation room, the warden signals the executioner and pulls a handle to connect the power supply. A jolt between 500 and 2,000 volts, which lasts about 30 seconds, is given. The current surges is then turned off, and at which time the body is seen to relax. For execution by a gas chamber, the condemned person is strapped to a chair in an airtight chamber. Below the chair rests a pail of sulfuric acid. Once everyone has left the chamber and the room is sealed, the warden then gives a signal to the executioner, who flicks a lever that releases crystals of cyanide into a pail. This causes a chemical reaction that releases hydrogen cyanide gas. The prisoner is instructed to breathe deeply to speed up the process. The inmate dies from hypoxia, the cutting off of oxygen to the brain. For execution by hanging, the person's hands and legs are secured. He or she is blindfolded, and the noose is placed around the neck, with the knot behind the left ear. The execution takes place when a trapdoor is open and the prisoner falls through. The prisoner's weight should cause a rapid fracture dislocation of the neck. However, instantaneous death rarely occurs. For execution by firing squad, the inmate is typically bound to a chair with leather straps across his waist and head, in front of an oval-shaped canvas wall. The chair is surrounded by sandbags to absorb the inmate's blood. A black hood is pulled over the inmate's head. A doctor locates the inmate's heart with a stethoscope and pins a circular white cloth as a target. Standing in an enclosure 20 feet away, 5 shooters with .3 caliber rifles loaded with single rounds. The person dies as a result of blood loss caused by rupture of the heart or a large blood vessel or tearing of the lungs, also sometimes not instantaneous. These are the 5 forms of the death penalty, and after hearing the description of these, you may think, what happens if a person is actually innocent? One of the more recent battles in the death penalty that is faced is due to innocence proven by upgraded DNA technology testing. Many cases have been overturned and prisoners exonerated because of this technology. Since 1973, 138 people have been released from death row with evidence of their innocence. It is unfortunate that this technology was not available sooner. Other people have been found innocent as well, but their sentencing had already been carried through. This is not a fun topic to think about, nor is there any way to glorify it. Sentencing someone to death is final and should not be taken lightly. As we all reach voting age, it is important to think about and be informed about what our votes can influence.